The purists tell me that Mini is getting it all wrong. It's pushing its luck. They're too big, there's too many of them, there's too many special editions, it's got more doors than it should. Normally I tell the purists to shut up because I don't really care. I really like Minis. However, I may have reached my limit. This is the Mini John Cooper Works Convertible. The John Cooper Works name was introduced as a step above the Cooper S. In the old days, that Cooper S was the fast one, developed by John Cooper to win races. Now the S is everywhere, so after a couple of limited edition runs, the JCW became part of the everyday lineup with just the John Cooper Works GP edition to trump it. The JCW Convertible is $9,500 more than the Cooper S drop top. That's quite a lot of money for a car that just looks different. It is actually quite different though. For a start, the engine produces 170 kilowatts and 320 newton meters of torque. That's up from 141 and 280. That's quite a lot more. There's also changes to the adaptive suspension, which is a bit harder. The steering is also sharper, and you've got this cartoonish body kit, which looks like Billy Joel playing a harmonica. The looks of the JCW have always been a little bit hard to love. This one's no different. Perhaps it's better inside. The interior is not to everyone's taste either. There's a lot of circles in here which upsets a lot of people, but it is loaded up. It's got a heads-up display, it's got up-spec sat-nav here on the big screen here in the middle. It's got a bit of red stitching. These seats are actually quite good. They don't look like a lot, but they're very good. And there's a 12-speaker Harman Kardon stereo. 12 speakers seems like a lot for a little car, but when the roof's down, you need the power. The interior is quite well built, except these toggle switches annoy me. The switches themselves are good, but the separators are really flimsy. Also, the dashboard dials have a flat lens, I guess you'd call it, which means that it reflects straight back at you. Now, I don't care that you have to look at me, but when I have to look at me, but the heads-up display, which is up there, doesn't reflect back, and that means you don't have to look at yourself when you've got the roof down. The back seats are obviously useless if you've got legs or even a torso. It's really claustrophobic back here. Not so bad with the roof down, but with the roof up, no one wants to be back here. And if you want to put the wind deflector on, you can't take anyone with you, which might be a good thing. The roof mechanism is quite impressive in this car. Obviously it's not a folding hardtop, but it has a mighty fine impression of a normal Mini, if you squint a bit. In true Mini style, once the roof is down, it doesn't stow neatly. This is where it finishes, although it does create a nice big wing of which the WRX crowd would be quite jealous. The purists, however, will like this, the downward opening boot. Yeah, see, it's not all bad news, is it? So driving the John Cooper Works Convertible, it's pretty much like driving any other Mini, apart from the fact that when you put the roof down, you can't see anything because the roof blocks half your vision. And with all the windows down, it is a little bit windy in here, which, you know, is a bit depressing. It's a lot of fun, but it's another 100 kilos, which is quite a lot of weight in a Mini. So all that 100 kilos is to brace things, because when you chop the roof and the boot off, there's nothing left to keep the car from wobbling around. So it understeers quite determinedly. So the tyres are quite good in that they tell you it's coming with a very loud shriek. It's good, it's fun, and it doesn't really matter because you've got that wind in the hair feeling that you don't have in the other cars. So what you lose on the handling, you gain in the experience, and you get to hear the popping and the banging and the tyres working. It's all, you know, it's good, but it's certainly not the kind of scalpel sharp machine that the hatch is. Now, speaking of Donald Trump's hair, which we weren't, but I've decided I'm going to, this is a demonstration of how windy it is. It's not, you know, buffety, sort of terrible, but there's a lot of wind and you do need to raise your voice to hold a conversation even at relatively low speeds. We're doing about 50, and I do have to shout at you because I need you to listen, but also because it is a bit noisy. Now, if Trump was in this car, his hair would probably fly off and return to nature from whence it came. At the beginning of this video, I told you that I always tell the purists to shut up, because there's a reason for that. This isn't the car they want it to be, and it never will be. It's too big, it's too new, it's not the car they think it should be. That's fine. It's a lifestyle car. Mini is a lifestyle brand. And this is the ultimate expression of that. It's a very fast convertible. It's not practical, it's not cheap, it's actually very expensive, but it's that ultimate expression. What it comes down to is this. If you want a fast Mini, buy the John Cooper Works hatch. If you want a convertible, buy the Cooper or the Cooper S. But if you want a fast convertible Mini hatch, buy this one. I don't know who you are, but good luck to you, because it is pretty much a lot of fun. And if you want to know more about this car, you can read our full review here.